Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here, and today we're back with another boss guide video, and we're going to be talking about the Ebon Deer and the stages leading up to him as well. The first things that you need to know in the small mobs that are starting the game in the Memory of Chaos 6 is you want to defeat the last spring mob. The one with like the one in the center here, because it heals his allies. It's going to be the highest priority out of the first wave. And other than that, the first wave is pretty straightforward. It introduces you to the chaos mechanic that these other branches have. And for those of you who are like just interested in the Ebon Deer mechanics, you can just skip to a point. I'll put it in the timestamps as well when the Ebon Deer first appears. But basically this first wave, we just wanting to like just one-shot the healing plant as soon as we can and just clean up the rest of the wave. Nothing too fancy. The next one is going to be a bit tougher with the new mob that is going to come about. So this Aurumaton Gatekeeper boss thing is the one that is going to be a bit challenging. How his mechanics work is every time you hit him, he will gain a certain number of charge. So you went from 33%, 66% in 2 hits. And what you want to do is you want to avoid the last attack to force him into sanction. So I'm letting him enter into this sanction mode on his own, which means that I buy myself a bit of time because he doesn't attack immediately as well. This allows me to also dish out more damage, sustain less damage. The key to this second phase here is you want to take out the side mobs as soon as you can. If you are maybe auto-battling or you're not focusing and just targeting the main boss, the side mobs actually do a ton of damage and they also defense down your team. One other reason why you want to defeat those side mobs is when you kill them, they also like defense break your enemies as well. As we can see here in the ability section, they do AoE defense break, but when they are defeated, they do defense break on their teammates, which is the enemies. As we can see here, so good amounts of damage, and I highly recommend you take them down as soon as you can. It's quite a lot of assisted damage that they do for you too. Okay, so once you clear off these side mobs, I think it's more or less straightforward. As you can see, the boss doesn't have many weaknesses, so it's more or less like a DPS check. Just bring in like your stronger DPSs to take it down. One tip that I have is, as you can see, Zealer now is under the imaginary debuff. Bring in a cleanser like Natasha, like Mark 7 as well. It really will help a lot to get rid of these side debuffs that is around too. And now Ebon Deer. I think this is the part that a lot of you are interested in and how to deal with him. Ebon Deer is not easy because he has quite a bit of summons on the side as well. Does a lot of damage on his own in his phase 2 especially. For phase 1, I think it's more of like an introductory session to how he works. He summons 1 monsters in his first turn action, and I think it stacks up to more than 1. Generally, this branch that he summons, the first one in his first phase, this wind branch, isn't too troublesome, especially if you are able to draw the aggro of the plant to the right of your target to outrage the right enemy. In this case, my Fire MC, I brought her in here so that she draws the aggro away. You can easily do this by increasing the chance of you drawing aggro by putting like Landau's Choice or other things that you have that increase aggro, like maybe combine with Mark 7. You have Jett as well, who has increased aggro draw. Clara works well too, but that also means that Clara might not be able to be controlled when they are in this outrage state. So those are like some things that you want to consider. The ultimate ability is also not able to use. In this case, Fire MC is like a very good choice because she doesn't really contribute that much with her ultimate anyway, so I don't mind just her being like just drawing the aggro of these outrages. Other than that, as you can see, the second plant is not the healing plant, so I'm not too alarmed by it. It's not a high value target in my opinion, so I'm just going straight for the boss to chip it down as soon as I can. I have also like only 4 turns left, so I want to rush the clock. We still have a whole nother phase to get by. So far in the first phase, I think it's pretty okay. By like 50% of the first phase live, we are still doing quite okay in terms of damage. I'm just saving all my ultimate. As you can see, I could easily burst it down to 0, but I want to save it for the next phase. That's when it gets a lot more challenging, and that's something that you need to know as well. Okay, phase 2. This is where it gets a lot more challenging, and that's what I saved my ultimate burst for. This is going to be a lot tougher because he has a huge AoE damage, and as you can see, he already straight away summons this healing plant that is on the field. It heals a lot, and this is like a high value target. It's more important than the boss itself, and I'll highly recommend you burst it down as soon as you can, unless of course the boss is at 100% HP anyway. And this is why I save my ultimate ability, because I don't want to deal with like the over swarming of plants, defense break the enemies real quickly, and also be able to burst down the healing plant. And now I can like slowly chip on this Ebon Deer's HP as soon as I can. So as you can see, these two other plants that he summons are not the healing plants. They don't have the flower blossoming on it, so they are not super high value target. I'm just going to show you the abilities that they have real quick. So it's just like enhancing his ability to use like his ultimate ability, which we'll see in a bit. It does a lot of damage, but I think if you have like, for example, maybe day 1 of my new life or some damage reduction like Fire MC in her kit and sustain throughout a team wipe and have like your HP relics geared up a bit, you should be able to survive the one shot. You can just rewind and see like the amount of damage it took. My Pella is like probably only have like relics at level 9, and yet she's still able to survive the one shot. So you can just like base around that. It's not too difficult to survive as long as you have some sort of damage reduction, some sort of HP gear already. And other than that, I think it's pretty straightforward now. If you found this video helpful and the boss mechanics as well, I do a lot of these boss mechanics as and when you guys requested. This was well requested by you guys in 1.1, and thank you so much for watching. Check out our other videos as well. See you in the next video.